Good morning, everybody. Dear students, today we are going to discuss the poem Dust of Snow, written by the great American poet Robert Frost. We must have read several poems written by Robert Frost. Robert Frost can be described as the unofficial poet laureate of the United States. He was a four-time Pulitzer Prize winner in poetry and recipient of more than 40 honorary degrees from various colleges and universities. He was a poet of nature. He was greatly attracted and fascinated by nature. And Frost's appeal in all his poems, almost all his poems, lay in his depiction of life as he saw around him. Very simple situations, very simple incidents which he observed all around him. He depicted them in his poem. And his language is also very simple and familiar to the common man. This Dust of Snow is a poem of 8 lines. It's a very, very short poem. First, let us discuss the title, Dust of Snow. Dear students, you all must have seen the snowfall, maybe on television, how the flakes of snow or small particles of snow fall from the sky and cover every space, every place of the earth. So here dust of snow means small particles of snow which fall like a shower. Before discussing the theme of the poem, let me read it out or recite. The way a crow shook down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. Let us take the first line of the poem of the first stanza. As you can see, there are 2 stanzas only. Each stanza consists of 4 lines. The way a crow. First line, the poet expresses that there was a crow. Crow does something very significant for the poet. What does it do? In the second line you see, the crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. So the poet perhaps sits under a hemlock tree. Hemlock tree is a kind of tree or kind of plant with small white flowers. It is considered as a poisonous tree. And the poet sits under the hemlock tree. He is in despair. He has been sad and regretful. And the crow, which is sitting on the hemlock tree, suddenly shook off small particles of snow on him. So here, the small incident is the falling of the small particles of snow on the poet who was sitting there under the hemlock tree in a very sad mood. Let us see what effect does it have on the poet. Second stanza, let us discuss. Has given my heart. What has given his heart? The poet expresses this falling up of these dust particles or dust of snow has given his heart a change of mood. So when the small particles of snow fell on the poet, that lifts up his mood. Remember, dear students, the reason of that small and specific action of falling of snow is not known. It must be the crow might be shivering with cold, adjusting itself to the branch, or taking off. But it happens to shake the tree, and the snow particles which were suspended on the tree, they fall on the poet. And the sour, cool, white, pure dust of snow has an instantaneous effect on the poet. He feels a new lease of life. He sees everything in new light. His mood has been changed. He feels in his art a sense of happiness, a sense of joy. There is a change in the mood. He feels a new lease of life. He sees everything in new light. And saved some part of a day I had ruled. Last two lines. And with this falling of the snow particles on his head, makes him change his mood in such a way that the rest of the day was also saved from being spoiled. Because he decides to give life another chance. He undergoes a profound change of mood. Of a day I had rued. The meaning of rued is regret. He was sorrowful, he was regretful, he was sad, and he thought perhaps the whole day will be spent in that gloomy mood. But his mood was changed due to those small particles of snow fell upon me, and it could be possible because of the crow. The crow is black in color. The crow is also never considered very auspicious. And the crow was sitting in the hemlock tree, which also was never considered very auspicious. Those negative symbols were presented with a positive spirit here by the poet. He suggests here that these two elements of nature, these two agents of nature, the crow and the hemlock tree, could also bring about significant changes, big transformation for anyone. So the poem is very symbolic. The crow symbolizes bad women and fear, while the hemlock tree symbolizes decay or death, and the dust of snow symbolizes the positive, life-giving effect of simple actions and gestures. These two agents of nature, hemlock tree and crow, which symbolize sadness, gloom, inauspiciousness, are portrayed as something which can bring about positive changes in life. And the falling of small particles of snow make the poet feel very happy and spirited. It was a terrible day for him. He spent the day in a bad mood, but the rest of the day was saved from being wasted by the crow and by the hemlock tree also. They could bring him joy and happiness. They lifted his mood. So here the poet also has described nature. Nature chooses to bless him with sudden joy through crow and hemlock tree, which are considered to be inauspicious. So he wants to suggest here there is nothing which nature cannot touch. It has unimaginable healing power. The poet's day is transformed for the better. From gloom, sadness to cheerfulness, and from negativity to positivity. So in this way, the poem is symbolic, the poem is very meaningful, and It also highlights the fact that very small incidents in our lives also can bring about very significant changes in our life. So everything is important in life. Every small and simple incident is important in life. And we should also pay all our reverence, all our attention to nature and its beautiful and wonderful elements, which have really great power of healing, power of transforming, power of rejuvenating. That's what happened in the poem here when the dust of snow also bring about positive changes in the poet's mood. He became very happy. You also, dear students, pay attention to the words used here. Last word of the first line, crow. Last word of the first line, me. Last word of the third line, snow. Last word of the fourth line, tree. Crow, me, snow, tree. So the rhyming scheme of the first stanza is AB, AB. Similarly, second stanza, heart, mood, part, root. Same pattern has been followed. So the rhyming scheme of the poem is AB, AB. And the rhyming words are crow, snow, me, tree. Heart, part, mood, root. With this, we come to the end of this description. All of you try to understand how the poet has tried to elevate nature and also bring about the significance of small incidents in life. He also has suggested that nothing is inauspicious. It is our attitude, it is our thought which makes the thing auspicious or inauspicious for us. For nature, everything is good, everything is significant. Thank you very much.